no problem with that.
Shalom, y'all. Myand is here with this week's Facetiously Familial, where everyone's a philosopher and nobody does research. Joining me today are my two usual co-hosts, my mom and brother.
Yo.
Yo, very deep, John.
Yes.
So,
It's
anyone
safe.
have a topic to start us in on?
Yeah, totally.
I've actually
Okay,
got
what's
two
up?
topics.
This is this is the best email, text message I got all week. And I don't know how to find it on the thing, but I don't know if you can see. It's two ladies playing cards. One says,
Do
"You
you have
have
any
any bucks?" And the other one says back, "Go fish." So what I was thinking about, what it made me think about, is I've been reading these books by Peter Hessler, and they're set in China. And
so they're not English period pieces.
yeah, I think that I should get points for that. Thank you very much. They're good. But what's interesting is one of the things he talks about is the Chinese people care about different things, deeply care about different things than we do.
Yep.
Like, and it was interesting because as I get older, I keep having less things I give a fuck about. I mean, think about how hard it was to live with me when you guys were growing up, and how much. Oh, that's terrible.
There were
faces. Oh.
So
what's the bedtime again?
Oh, just okay. So you're not
during
wrong.
the summer, while the sun is still up.
What do I have to do tomorrow? Nothing. Bedtime.
So what I'm saying here
Yes.
is I don't give fucks about a lot of things anymore because I realize they don't matter.
Because we broke you.
20 years later. Hey, Dan, I broke her.
Yes, that's fair. I just reaped all of the rewards.
Yeah.
I am very glad for John being such a problem child.
Oh my god. When did I get my first cell phone?
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I didn't even give him my first cell phone. Jody did. I still remember I put $30 on that old track phone and went through that in a week, and I was just like, crap, this is awful.
Well, I think you may have had a cell phone before I did.
No.
I don't know. Dad had one for years before I got one. So,
yeah. So I can tell you for a fact that you had a cell phone before John, because I remember walking through a museum playing Might and Magic on one of your old Razor phones. Not a Razor, but a different flip phone like that.
We're walking through a museum.
Yes.
Playing games on the This is literally why I didn't want to get phones. That's exactly.
While you were there, and you let me.
Hey, sometimes a quiet child is better than an educated child.
Apparently. Oh, that's terrible.
You know the best part? I don't think I really have any games on my phone.
Yeah, that's
I
the
have more
issue
games
for
than you
me.
have?
I think so, yes.
Because I have one.
I mean...
Oh, that's funny.
Let me look, because I know I have, like, an educational game.
Oh.
No games here.
I have two very non-educational games, one of which is, it could have been educational if it was not trying to be a Japanese bullshit waifu simulator.
Okay. Is it, and does it, can it be game reference materials? Then I have two, because I have D&D spells on my phone also.
I'm willing to accept that.
I kind of have two. I have a Magic the Gathering like life counter app.
Yeah.
So like life totals, poison counters, all that other fun stuff. And then I forgot, I still have this, Go.
Nice.
Oh.
I still remember kicking your ass at Go on a plane.
Yeah, I'm bad. I am just
It's almost
bad
like
at
you've never
that
played
kind of
Go before.
Oh, have I ever played Go before? No.
And I'm not claiming to be good at Go. I'm just claiming to have played more games than you.
I give you that. You have 100% more games, significantly more than 100% more games played than I have.
Because you've played once.
I think we played best of 3. And then we played out all 3 so that you could kick my ass a 3rd time.
Just because it's fun.
Sadness.
And because little brother syndrome says, yes, I do want to play with you, even though I am getting my ass handed to me.
Right.
Brother syndrome.
Oh, God, that's a real thing.
Yes.
Oh, golly, yes.
How many tens to hundreds of hours have I spent watching John play video games?
Hey, right back at you, friend.
Yes. You are not entirely wrong.
I mean, that's what happens when you only have one PlayStation or one computer.
Mm-hmm.
When your parents are terrible people.
When your parents have ideals that they hope to be able to enforce, but then realize that the technological limitations of their day do not exist.
Okay, so literally, that's what I mean about the whole giving the fuck thing. So my question for you actually was, what do you think that you care about now that you won't in the future? Or the question may be, do you care about anything, I guess?
So the issue is that I don't have a reason to really care about too much. Anything that's coming to mind is political stuff that will either be resolved or doesn't directly affect me, and so I don't really have a personal stake in rabble-rousing, effectively. And so I would have to say that I don't give many fucks, but that's purely because I am a white Catholic bachelor living alone with an engineering job, and therefore I don't have any monetary worries.
Speaking of jobs, that is the only thing I care about now and won't care about in the future.
So, John,
not in the know, I just got laid off on Thursday.
And got 12 weeks of severance, which is kind of nice. It's not worth it, but it's good going away.
Well, it also happened at the same time that my lease got used up, so I can move back in with Mom and Dad, become a basement goblin.
So,
yeah.
By the time that I'm up there for Easter, John, I expect you to have shrunk to at least half size, and you are going to be orange. Not because of any stints at a tanning salon, but because you have just far too much Dorito dust on you.
Oh, I was about to ask about that. I was like, do you mean I'm going to be ODing on carrots? I mean, considering whose house I'll be in.
That is a possibility. And actually, okay, legitimately, ODing on carrots is kind of a thing.
Oh, so, I know. I didn't say that idly. I didn't just go like, oh, ODing on carrots because carrots are orange. No, carrots will turn you orange.
Okay, wait a minute. I've got a good story for
I
that.
have a different thing about carrots after moms.
Okay. I had a friend when we were in the Navy. She was an addict. There's no two ways about it. It didn't matter what it was. She got addicted to it.
Yeah.
She decided she was going to start taking vitamins. She took so much vitamin A that she had some kind of surgery, where you saw the abdominal fat, and her fat was such a bright yellow. They told her she was going to kill herself in like 2 weeks or something like that if she didn't stop taking the vitamins.
That's impressive.
Did she just eat like a bottle of vitamins a day?
The first time she ever tried a cappuccino, she had 7. And she's like, I just can't stop moving. It was so good. I just had to have more. And it was like, I don't know how there was enough hours in the day because it was like 2:00 in the afternoon and she had 7 cappuccinos.
So she just had a standing order at the coffee bar. Give me another.
Keep
Give
them
me
coming.
another. Give me another.
Well, and we were on base. I don't know where she went to get them. I mean, it was in Italy, but I don't know. I don't know.
Someone spent their first 2 weeks' paycheck on a cappuccino machine, sequestered it in some random place on the base where the officer in charge is never going to find it, and they just are raking in the money selling these cappuccinos.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Good gig if you can get it.
I know. That little scenario that I just played out in my head, I want to be that guy.
Oh, hey, there is someone at my door. I
Okay.
will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Tell your story.
I'll wait until you get back because your reaction will be fantastic. Anyways.
Oh, that's always a good thing.
Yes.
A good sound.
So,
So,
you. Oh, dear
Oh.
brother of mine.
oh brother, where art thou?
Good movie. There's
I've
actually
never actually seen it.
Really?
I've
So,
just heard this music from it a million times.
do you know what it's about?
Isn't it about like people escaping from jail?
Yes. So, it's a retelling of Homer's Odyssey in the American South.
Ah, yes. Because I remember like the mayor's a part of the KKK or something like that, and they end up outing him in front of everyone.
There's
I've
a
seen
lot of
scenes.
It's really fantastic, and in a similar way to how Blues Brothers is amazing. Oh brother,
Still
where
have
art
never
thou?
seen Blues Brothers.
It is fantastic. As the movie deficient one of the family, I highly recommend it to you.
I would say I'm the movie deficient one now.
I would have to agree, because I recently started getting friends that are heavily interested in movies and offended by the fact that I haven't seen all these movies. So, like, Jordan, he will every so often hit me up and say, "Hey, Daniel, you're not doing anything on Saturday. I know you. Come over. We're gonna watch some movies."
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a good friend.
Yes, I enjoy him quite a bit. So, carrots. Carrots are a very high fiber vegetable. They
I like
have
where this is going.
yes, they have a significant amount of
Literally.
fibrous material within them. Yeah. So, consider for a moment you're playing video games. You know you're going to be playing it for the next 12 hours because you have a stream going on. You want to eat healthy, so you put out a bowl of about 2 or 3 pounds of baby carrots.
Oh, God.
These things do not properly digest when you eat that much.
Oh. Oh.
So this guy who performed this action, he spent about 3 days not being able to shit, and he had severe enough intestinal pain that he went to the hospital, got checked into the ER, but was forced to wait there for 5 additional hours after not being able to shit for the past 2 days. He believed that his intestines were about to explode, and at some point he was able to let off the barest fart imaginable, and at that point, he knew he would be safe. So the fun thing is that the doctors literally did nothing. They just sat him there on the bed for long enough for it to work it out by itself.
Hey, Dan, have you ever read the Melon Baller story?
I have not.
Okay, because that's not exactly appropriate for
Podcasting.
general audiences.
Okay.
I'll send
I'm gonna
you
consider
that,
myself general
And-
audience.
and I'll send you that and the poop knife.
Oh, I know about the poop knife.
The poop knife.
Yeah, that is.
So this one's much more appropriate. This guy, his whole family, apparently they shit out telephone poles. So they would have something that they called the poop knife, where they had a knife specifically where its only
no.
job was
Oh,
to
no.
cut up shit.
No.
So he went over to a party.
No. I think I hear my
Look,
mommy calling me.
Took it down at a party and then walk out and go like, "Hey, where's your poop knife?" What? Where's your poop knife?
Oh,
The fuck's a poop knife? That's how he got known as the poop knife.
oh, oh. There was a while where one of my cousins was dating a guy who every time he came to a holiday, he asked for the plunger. Like, really?
Hey, at least he fixed the problem himself.
Yes, I appreciate this guy.
Yeah, no.
As someone with significant intestinal issues, being able to clean up after yourself, I think is important. If you're unable to, that is your fault.
But what is it about my house that makes you relax enough that you just let it alone?
Take that as a compliment.
Wait, are you talking about your current house?
Yes.
Your current house can barely take any shits at all. Do you know how many times I clogged them up?
Okay, listen. There is no problem once you both left the house.
That's because you have the most minor of toilets. They have like low flow or something. I don't know. They just are kind of crap. I mean, they're meant for dainty.
Kind of crap at dealing with crap.
Yes. Yours deal with dainty poops. I don't do dainty.
Yeah.
Okay, can we go anywhere else?
Let's go on the opposite end of things and
talk about
eating. Eating. Other end of the body. Eating. So I still remember you're telling me that Dad only eats like the most basic of meals that you've cooked a billion times because he eats a lot while traveling. He eats a lot of great fancy stuff. So
he's a bastard, and we hate him, and we want to be him.
What is your favorite meal you've had while traveling? And this could be domestic travel.
Yeah, this is domestic for me. We used to go up to New York every year for the summer because we have family that lives up in New York and New Jersey. So we would head up there and meet them at least once a year. At one point, it was twice a year for a little while. Anyways, so we would go into New York City quite often. We went to Little Italy back before Little Italy got taken over by Chinatown. And there was this one restaurant that we went to. Me being a little 9-year-old kid, I was still quite picky of an eater. And I just sat there looking at a menu of stuff that I couldn't pronounce going, I don't know what any of this is. I don't want to try any of this. So at some point, the waiter says, no, let me get you the chef. So the chef comes out and he talks to me and I go, I don't know what any of this is. I don't know what I want to eat. And he just looks down at me and says, don't worry, I will get you some chicken breasts. You'll be happy. And oh my God, I was. This is probably the greatest chicken I have ever eaten. There were 2 chicken breasts on my plate. That was literally it. And it was probably my favorite meal I have ever had.
And we all wanted it. That was the funniest part. Was we all wanted your meal, and all it was literally was chicken. It wasn't even breaded or anything. It was just chicken.
I have no idea what this man did to that. He probably sprinkled it with cocaine. That is the only thing that I can imagine that would make it so delicious.
Dan, have you tried brining your chicken yet?
I have not.
Try it. Oh my God. So my chicken game was always pretty crap.
Yeah.
Like it would always come out dry as hell. And I'm just like, I didn't even cook it that long. It's just barely cooked through and it's already dry. Once I started brining, night and day.
Okay, I'll have to try that.
You should have seen the size of the chicken breasts he bought. Oh my God.
I bought like...
Were 2.5 or 3 pounds? No.
No,
5.5 pounds.
I bought like 4 of them and they were, 5.5 pounds. And the thing is, it's not chicken breast, like singular, it's chicken breasts, plural. So they came both halves
like,
of it.
look at him. He's got like huge tracts of
So
land.
I turned them into chicken cutlets. They were so thick, I had to slice them horizontally and vertically.
Damn.
So from those 2 chicken breasts, I got 8 cutlets.
So they actually just sold you half a chicken.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
I basically got a deboned rotisserie chicken.
Oh my
It
goodness.
hasn't been cooked yet.
Raw chicken. Yeah.
It hasn't been cooked yet.
So, well,
Mom.
John, favorite foods?
Let's go with Mom first.
Okay. So, one was my first epiphany. I've got 2. I can't decide.
I've got 2.
My first epiphany food was when we lived in Italy, and I had my first bruschetta. And all it was tomatoes, garlic, and oil and basil on bread. But the first time I had that was like, I didn't know you could make food like that. I had no idea that food could taste that good. Because I grew up in, a German town, middle America, like our big condiment was ketchup, mustard. Woo, salsa was big when it came out. I remember salsa happening.
That is not a sentence I think I've ever heard before. I remember salsa happening.
That is impressive. It's so ubiquitous in John and mine's existence that the idea that it didn't perforate America is kind of surprising.
Oh yeah.
Ubiquitous now.
It was unbelievable. I mean, like, the foods of my childhood were so bland and so, it's just we had Jello salad 1 or 2 nights a week.
Wait, hold on. Say that again.
Jello salad. At Jello as the salad course for dinner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's just still...
So that was your treat, the fact that you got Jello twice a week.
And then we also had like nutty crunchy food too, like a little hippie food thrown in there because
that sounds good.
Yeah.
So it was two, salad, veg, meat. That's it. Mm-hmm. You might have gotten a starch in there sometimes,
No
For all the bread that we have now, that we do now, that was not part of my childhood.
So that's why Uncle Larry loves it, because it actually exists.
Right. She made it, but she would sometimes it would be made for sandwich bread, but not not
that explains why Alma gavooned that beef and eggs clothing.
Right. Okay, and then my other one.
All right.
And this was more for the experience of it, but it was last year at Gen Con in Indianapolis.
Oh, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, so I'm all dressed up in my schlock mercenary costume. I've got the shoulder boards and everything, and I'm all, I've spent months on this costume. But we go to a barbecue joint, and I'm like, oh, good, whatever, we'll find something. So we order, and it was really funny because it was good barbecue, but the ordering experience was almost as much fun as the food was. They liked one another. They had a great time. They'd write your thing down on this big, metal tray. It was called Sugar Fire Barbecue. That was the name of the place.
Okay, cool.
And anyway, so we go through, and there's finally, oh my God, there is a vegan! Yay! There's a vegan sandwich. So I was like, I asked them first, and I was so ecstatic that there was a vegan sandwich. The guy who owned the place made sure that my sandwich was really good. And so we get through, and we go to sit down, and Uncle Jerry has a good meal. John has like a poutine kind of meal. It was all like French fries and sauces.
It was okay. It was a little too sweet.
And he was looking more for hangover food, and this was more like I don't know what.
Yeah, Uncle Jerry had discovered the art of being a bartender, and so we made some ginger beer stuff, and we were mixing it with like vodka. So we're getting beer with liquor combined. And I was drinking it as if it was just beer.
And so, and they're
That was a
playing
fun night.
Magic the Gathering till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm asleep, you know. But anyway, so he was looking for a sponge, and that was not what he got. But they're both eating their meals with forks and knives, and I roll up my sleeves and I pick up this enormous burger that had like sauces and condiments and mushrooms.
They're the biggest mushrooms I've ever seen on that.
And one bite and it starts running down my arms. It's like, oh, the best sandwich I have ever eaten. And everyone in the restaurant wished they had my dinner, and it was vegan. It was awesome. Oh my God, that was the best time ever.
She's not wrong.
Oh God, yeah. So anyway, John, your favorite food experience?
I also have two. None of them are domestic though.
Okay.
So first one was also in Italy. That first day we landed. Technically, I could split it up into two dishes there in Italy, both of them for the same reason. The first meal we had, like they gave us free shots, drank a bunch of beer, limoncello.
Oh
like
my
the
God.
restaurant actually went out and gave us free shots, and I got
Yes.
spaghetti alla vongole. Which, do you know what that is? That is spaghetti, garlic, butter, and clams. Clams they serve are so perfect. And then the pizza frutti di mare, which is basically just like pizza soup with a crust around it, and a bunch of clams thrown on top.
So the best part about Italy was learning that pizza is not actually a pie. It is a soup. Proper Italian pizza, it has the thinnest crust imaginable. If you've ever had like thin crust New York pizza, knock it down a couple of millimeters and then don't fire it quite enough so that it gets crispy, and then just start ladling in the sauce.
Yep.
Dad and I mean, for all the years we lived there, we would always just eat around the outside and then maybe make it to the inside because it was literally soup.
Oh, I went
The
inside
only
to
way
outside.
that you could actually eat the entire thing is you start from the inside and work your way out.
That's what I always did.
I didn't learn that. But
All
what
right.
was funny, your pizza.
I have one more thing.
I'm
all right.
still on your frutti di mare pizza.
Oh, you are? All right. I thought you were
Yes.
changing topics. I was like,
No.
no. I'm not letting you derail.
What we did there, though,
Yeah?
what we called it was tide pool pizza, and we joked that it was like they would send the dogs out into the tide pools, and whatever they could find that day was what ended up on your pizza.
That sounds amazing.
So, John, meal two.
So, number 2 was in Beijing. So there was a tiny little like chain store, I think, in the first floor of the hotel. Like the hotel kind of had a small strip mall in it, or no? Yeah, let's go with strip mall. So it kind of had a small strip mall in the first floor of the hotel, but you could like walk inside to get to all of them. And there was a place that served porridge.
Okay.
Porridge is incredibly bland if you've ever had that.
Yeah.
However, they had this chicken porridge that was nice and salty. And do you know what else they had?
I don't.
Oh.
They had cha sha bao. So you get that like sweet, barbecuey, starchy. And that with the salty chicken porridge. One of the best breakfasts I've ever eaten.
Okay,
We went there every morning once we discovered it.
The thing you turned me on binging with Babish Bao.
Yeah.
You know, that episode where he makes the bow. I'm like, I want to learn how to do that. I want to do that.
Well, you have done it.
Well, yeah, but I think
I think watching him would definitely help me.
because he was willing to screw up on camera.
Yes.
So maybe we can make that like Thursday, John made we bought a pre-frozen, and what was interesting, it was just spinach and bread. But it was like like dough around the outside of it.
Do you remember those old patties we used to get in Jamaica? It was just filled with like spices and meat.
Yes.
Fry it.
Yes.
It's basically that, except vegan.
Nice.
But it was so good, and I thought that we could do things like that and just make all different kinds of bao. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really the main issue with my bao is in the instructions that I read in the initial attempts said leave yourself like a little thicker thing in the middle and thin it out, and then what ends up happening is you end up with like a donut of filling, like a little donut filling on the outside.
Well,
the middle has just expanded.
The yeast rises, the heat hits it, it expands, and then it also explodes your top because we're not good enough at making tops. So it would just they would go. Ugh.
Well, because also, on a second note, the instructions said to leave a little hole on the top. So we didn't always close it off.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
My goodness. Yeah. So I would like I'm up for round 2.
However, if you notice, he still messed up the color. I really want to know what the Chinese do to make it that white. Because I've used the bao flour, so there's a special kind of flour you're supposed to use that is like bleached white. So I have that. But when you add in the yeast, the color turns it a much more bread color.
Yeah, because yeast.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be bread color.
I want to make whole wheat bao.
If you could have just bao that has that wonderful bread crust, but the inside is still that same dumpling, gooey, chewy mess, I think I would enjoy that a lot.
Sounds like some kind of pastry.
Yeah. So, what I'm imagining is you just make a normal bao, and then you put an egg wash around the outside, and instead of steaming it, you bake it. I don't know if that would work, because I think that might be a bit too direct of heat, and so it would probably cause some issues with the actual covering, but, if it worked properly, and it became everything that I'm imagining it could be, it would be amazing.
I think you might want to use a different kind of dough.
Probably.
But I want to try all these things.
Yeah.
Fair.
If you, instead of making an actual bao dough, you made a pastry dough, it could probably work.
Oh, God.
Well.
Can you imagine puff pastry for that?
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever cooked with puff pastry, Dan?
No.
Oh, that explains a lot. It goes.
You have to actually weight it down when you're cooking sometimes.
Yeah, because the parts. So it's just basically folded in butter. So when it cooks, it expands a stupid amount.
Because the steam from the water and the butter.
Yeah.
It just goes.
And
so it's not just the yeast that expands it. It has a structure that traps the steam so that it expands.
And it's also hilarious because if you don't give it a proper egg wash, it looks so gross when it comes out. You're just like, what is this? This doesn't look good. I mean, it tastes pretty much the same, but...
Oh, one of the worst things I ever made that took 50 hours was when Dad and I got married, we were given the joy of cooking. the
Yeah.
Irma
Oh.
Bauer book that everyone gets.
Yeah.
Is that not Julia Childs?
Oh no, we didn't get Julia Child's book. That's Mastering French Cooking, I think.
Okay.
This had a lot of French recipes and it kind of, in it, but
Yes.
it was like how to cook everything.
Yeah.
And it was the one thing that I had. I mean, so anyway, I decided that I wanted to make Danishes. And it was another one of those things where you would roll it out, then you layer the butter, and then you roll it out, and you layer the butter, and you roll it out, and you layer the butter. And of course, I had not watched the Great British Bake Off yet, so I had no idea what I was doing. And I probably spent 4 or 5 hours making the most tough, inedible, disgusting things I have ever seen in my life. I mean, they were doorstops, not food. Terrible.
So, Mom, I have to ask. You have a significant aversion to throwing out food. Did you throw these out?
No, I ate it all. It was the most nasty thing. Oh God, it was.
No. Whatever you brought over recently, you brought over something for your lunch. That it looked like
Oh my
baby
God, that was
food.
terrible. What was that?
Let's keep that in the back.
It was Ethiopian. It was
Okay.
the first time I'd made an Ethiopian wat or injera bread, and the injera bread didn't work, and the wat was made out of cornmeal, and so the idea was it was like spiced cornmeal. Oh, and it was good in the first like 10 minutes, and then it tightened up into glue and became nasty and disgusting. And John made me throw both away, and he was right.
So
I cooked for her that day.
Describe what both of those are for me who has no idea.
Okay, so injera bread it's made out of teff, which is the smallest grain in the world. It's like tiny, like grains of salt. They grind it up into flour, and then they make a bread that's kind of like a pancake. What you do is you pour it on, and then you steam the top of it. So it ends up being this really flexible, interesting bread, and they make it enormous. And then they layer on top. They have all these little dishes that are called wat, and they're like, chopped cooked cabbage and blah 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 blah. And they use the spice. Oh, harissa.
Okay.
I think, is that the name of it? Harissa. Let me look that up. But
research.
Oh, you're failing the podcast.
I don't think this is it. Yeah, no. It's the one.
It is a spice.
And it's a spice blend, and the spice blend was amazing.
Okay.
But then the wat tightened up because I didn't have vegetables and stuff, and I made the easiest one that Brother Green Eats made that I had all the ingredients in the house. Yeah. So it was their fault. No more podcast. I mean, no more YouTube for recipes.
But if you do that, you'll never be able to make How to Basics ramen. Mom, have we shown you the ramen How to Basic?
I haven't seen ramen How to Basic, but I can imagine how it goes.
So,
how many eggs
it is
does he
an
break?
experience. Suffice it to say, it starts with a very good ramen recipe. Mm-hmm. And, Mom, do you even know what How to Basic is?
I don't think so.
It is an absurdist
hold on.
show.
Let's go with the history of How to Basic.
Yes, please.
How to Basic started off with how to do basic things. So, like, one of the first ever videos that came out was how to pick up an umbrella. The guy holding a camera. He picks up an umbrella.
I love him.
Yes.
And then, I guess he started taking crazy pills or something and went off the fucking chain. Oh my God. He destroys his kitchen.
The first How to Basic that really went off the rails was how to make a chocolate cake.
Yes.
And I don't want to describe it, so I just want to leave my listeners and mother with the instruction: go watch it. It
How-
is an experience unlike any other, and you probably never thought that cooking could legitimately be surrealist horror, and it can be. If you're ever questioning how
I like the look on her
millennials...
face already. She seemed like half a second.
They have 3. How to make a chocolate mud cake, how to morph into a chocolate cake, how to make a delicious chocolate cake.
Go for the mud cake first. Whichever one has the highest view count, go for that one first. If it's in the millions, you're good.
Seriously? In
Yes.
the millions?
Oh yeah. That's
Oh,
basic.
yeah.
I don't know.
Specifically, his chocolate cake recipe is...
It's a classic.
Yeah. It is one of the things that proves that the internet still has depths to delve out. We have yet to find rock bottom.
Sorry.
And
I shouldn't do this.
I saw a video that was a heavy metal chef, and it was some Norwegian guy, and it was really similar to How to Basic, except he's just screaming the whole time and throwing all of his ingredients around.
nice.
Okay.
So, Mom, have you ever seen Epic Mealtime?
No.
Oh,
Okay. So,
almost Bane.
oh yeah. It's a bunch of frat guys that basically got together and said, we are going to make the manliest food imaginable, with the largest portions, with the worst...
They're gonna die at 30.
Yes. If you were able to eat in the way that they cook for more than about 2 weeks, you would start seeing the McDonald's documentary effect.
Right. Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
you just see the face of God.
That's how long it takes to be
To die on the.
I like that. You just see
Yes.
the face of God. Hey, I want that.
Hey, John, congratulations, you're getting a house.
Okay.
Okay. What's the YouTuber who when he's chopping up the cabbage and he throws it against the wall and he ends up with Brussels sprouts?
Gosh.
You suck at cooking.
Yes.
Yes. I love that one.
Oh,
I
it's great. There's one time he just has his hands out, and for some reason he has like 2 right hands.
There's
and
just one
it's
video
never brought up.
where
Like, I didn't even notice.
for the entirety of the video, he has 2 right hands.
You kidding me?
And I'm
No.
just
Oh my
looking
God,
at the
that's awesome.
comments, and people went like, "Did anyone else notice this?"
I really love the short videos on YouTube. Like, if I see a video that is over 10 minutes, I usually get leery at it because there's probably not a whole lot of effort that was put into it. See my narrations. Now, if I see something that is under 4 minutes, I go, oh shit. Someone either actually spent a lot of time on this or absolutely none, and either way, it's probably fantastic.
Oh, that's funny. Because I mean, editing is at least twice as long as doing the video. Oh,
Yes. Significantly more than for several of these things. Like, for example, if you've... I don't know that we've shown you any of Ego Raptor's animations, but a lot of them are under 4 minutes, and he probably spent several months on each of these.
wow.
I love
Wow.
the Sequelitis series.
Oh yeah, he
Needs to bring that back.
It's a little sad that he can't stop Game Grumps. Like, he just has too much money, time, and effort within Game Grumps to be able to stop it to pursue other ventures.
Right.
That's kind of the reason why they started the 10-minute Power Hour, which I'm imagining neither of you guys have seen.
10-minute Power Hour?
No,
Yes.
I haven't.
So the basic thing is that they wanted to have Mom, do you know the core conceit of Game Grumps?
No. I think I've watched one or two of their
Yeah.
videos.
The
So it's
core
basic.
conceit
Yeah. Two
of
best
Game
friends
Grumps?
play.
What
Yeah.
a pretentious asshole.
Yes.
You say the core idea. Oh my god.
I like big words. I was raised by Madam
Conceit
Dictionary.
isn't a big word, it's just an esoteric word. And
Yes.
esoteric is a big word.
Yeah. Proving that you also were raised by me.
Oh yes, I fully admit I'm a pretentious asshole, but really? Do you know the
Yes.
conceit of this?
Yes. Considering how popular it is, I'm willing to say that it has a conceit, not an idea.
You're
So,
a conceited person.
the core conceit of Game Grumps is that two
And
best
Daniel
friends.
doubles down.
Yes, is that two best friends play video games, and that's literally it. Now, they have done this for several years and changed out the best friends.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes. So it was originally Aaron Hansen and John, I forget his actual last name.
JonTron.
Yes, he is JonTron. And after a bit, they decided to break off and JonTron do his own thing and Aaron keep on doing Game Grumps.
There's a bit more to it.
Yes.
Well, life happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff that has been not necessarily substantiated, and there's a lot of claims. Anyways, then they brought on Danny Avedon, the guy who does Ninja Sex Party.
What I like about what you just said was insert backstory here.
Yes.
Choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure. I used to read these books all the time, and there would always be like endings I could never figure out how to get to. So eventually I got to the point where I'd read through like one or two different stories, and then I'd just be like, all right, I'm just going to pick a random page, and then just start reading from here.
And then work back from it.
No,
Work back?
you can't work back.
I did that.
I would take the page and work back and try to get there.
Oh, I would just go forward from there. Just go like, well, I'll pick page 73 and just go forward from the adventure. Because it's like, all right. It's not like the stories were really complex, so you could always just figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
Okay, Daniel, I'll get you back to Game Grumps. Sorry.
No problem. This was probably a more entertaining diversion. Anyways,
Everything.
Basically, the big thing is that Game Grumps has gotten too big, and so they can't stop making it. Otherwise, it's going to shrink and collapse. And so, in order to continue doing Game Grumps, but also do skits, they started doing live-action stuff, which they can do relatively quickly. Much faster than an animation of the same length. All they have to do is write it and get a couple of their friends together to essentially fuck around.
Oh, count me in.
Yeah,
I'm good
exactly. It would be a lot of fun to be a part of this. So that's what the 10-minute power hour is.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's great.
I think the idea is that let's make a 10-minute video in an hour, maybe.
Right. No, that makes sense. Okay. Hey, I got a question for you, John.
I've got an answer for you.
You slacker. I mean, who's had nothing going on this week? Ugh. Not anything at all. Did you find any products? I'm expecting a no.
No, I totally forgot about that until just now. You mentioned it.
Well, son of a bitch, John, now we have to find 10 minutes to just talk to each other. Like, how are we going to do
I
that?
could find some products within
I wanted you people gone. I was ready for the products to bring me the sweet release of not having to record with you assholes anymore. Why are you doing this to me? And now you're doing research. The one thing that we're not supposed to do. Yes, you're trying to do it for a bit that we decided would be in every single thing.
Shut up. I got you a product. Shut up.
So, what did you find for us, oh dear brother of mine?
The gift you deserve, asshole.
Oh.
Middle finger.
No.
So this thing is popping up.
Okay, I need to do this on my computer so I can see. What is it?
It's the No Phone Air. It's just a bag of air.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
I'm
It'll
waiting.
go well
to
with the
start selling
with
this.
the air guitar strings I'll send you.
You know what? It's the gift for the person who has everything. It shows that I'm willing to spend money on you, and you're done with it, and you don't have to store it.
The issue is that I would want to keep around the bag of air because I find it funny.
Yeah, you'd find it funny because it gave you nothing for Christmas.
Yes, that is hilarious.
That's
Shut
awesome.
up. I found something. Underground doghouse. Prank money one. Ooh, okay. Here's something I could actually use.
So, this is either going to be something that allows him to transport more easily, teleport, or otherwise explode.
Drink.
Yeah.
This is a vape shot, alcohol vaporizing spirit pump.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
So, yeah, you will be able to just teleport and you will lose all track of time. You just. And you're gone.
Yeah, so Jacob and I have started taking scooters over to
Oh my god.
Cloud9 Sushi, and it's like a 6-mile scooter trip when it's fucking cold outside. And
they do it
amazing.
in the dark at like 10 o'clock at night. So not only, and they all wear black. So of course, no one can see them.
Actually,
they
no,
can't see obstacles.
I wear that like light gray, whitish coat.
Oh, that's true.
So I'm the only visible one. Hey, and those scooters actually have really powerful headlights.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
I have been wondering how you did it.
I imagine that the city would have forced them to put on headlights, even if they didn't have them initially.
Because technically you're supposed to ride them in the street.
Yeah.
And we do that. Mostly.
Sometimes.
Mostly. When we're downtown, yes.
So, John, describe the scooters.
There's just scooters that are basically people threw them away, or it looks like people threw them away, like an abandoned car on the sidewalk. So you just walk up to the scooter, you take out your app, and you just scan the scooter, and the scooter like plays a little jingle for you, and now the scooter is yours. And they're electronic scooters, so you can just press down the button, and they go up to 15 miles an hour. It's great because they say, "Oh, don't forget, you need to wear your helmet." Bullshit. No one wears a helmet. Who carries around a helmet downtown?
But the funny thing, it's going to turn him into a half Popeye because the accelerator is only on one side. So he's only using one arm, and the other arm just kind of hangs on for the ride.
Not with how rough the roads are. I'm pretty sure after that ride, the scooter's not in the same quality. It's like, one time it felt like I took off one of the wheels, hitting the bottle.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no, these are not the same quality as when we first got them.
But they got their money out of you, the ride time.
Yep.
It's interesting. I really have to wonder how well that actually does in terms of, like, maintenance.
Because they gotta drive all around the city and pick them up. So that's the great part about them is you can leave them wherever. You don't have to drop them off at some part. So we ride it over to Cloud9 and then just leave them there and Uber back.
So it's essentially public transportation, but done by a private company.
Kind of.
Is it actually sponsored by the city?
I don't know. All I know is the city allows them to litter. That's seriously what the scooters are.
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever been to a Chinese city, all the bike sharing things, the bikes are basically just litter. Like, there are so many bikes on every corner.
Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. Anyway, it's so funny because the first time you told me about doing this, all I'm going is, he is a young man. He is a young man. He is a young man.
He's still
not
alive.
out there like hood surfing, or whatever.
I've done that once, not on purpose. It was right before senior year. That's how I got that giant gash on my elbow.
Yeah.
I jumped on a friend's car, like not jumped on, but like I kind of went up to his car and like gently placed myself upon his hood. And it was just my upper body on it. That fucker hits the gas.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm like, you nearly killed me there. And he's like, I don't care. It's okay. I never hung out with him again.
Yeah,
Was that Sean?
friend.
No.
No? Okay.
No, that was a friend of Sean's. Sean I still hung out with occasionally in college, like when we had the paintball team. No, this is another guy in the group.
Yeah. Okay.
And we had hung out a bunch, and then it's like, dude, you just tried to kill me. And he's like, it's your fault for jumping on my car. Like, that's not okay.
What you did was stupid. What he did was malicious.
Yes. That's a great way to put it.
I agree with your decision to not hang out with this man.
For my own health and safety, you are no longer a part of my life.
What is the difference between stupid and malicious? Well,
I think that's a good story to describe stupid versus malicious.
Hanlon's razor. I think that's what it is.
Occam's.
No, Hanlon's razor. Never attributed to malice what could easily be attributed to stupidity.
oh my God.
And I would look it up, but that goes against the podcast rules.
Awesome.
Thank you, John.
I understand how this
Recognizes
goes.
this. I appreciate you for this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Hanlon's razor. Occam's razor is like the whole simplest option.
Yeah.
But
yeah. All right, let's not go
I
there.
know what I'm talking about.
Hey, I will admit when I am wrong. Well done.
And on that note of brilliance, it's about time.
It is about time. We've got about 3 minutes remaining to get to an hour if we felt like rambling on. And there's a significant part of me that doesn't want to do an outro and just hit stop